Good evening, I'm Stacey Amos for News Channel 8, and these are the top stories that we have for you tonight. A brutal St. Thomas murder is solved. More people are leaving the VI just as airlines are reducing flights. Liet's hangar is on fire in Antigua, and Elena Christian School on St. Croix graduates. Those stories and more are up next for you on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, a suspect has been arrested in a brutal 2011 murder case on St. Thomas. Here's VIPD spokesperson Melody Rames with more on this horrific story.
Major crime detectives on St. Thomas have arrested and charged Jim Powell with second-degree murder, among other charges, in connection with the December 4, 2011 death. The death of Malvern Van Beverhout was originally classified as a vehicular homicide. However, further investigation by detectives, confirmed by the autopsy results, determined that Van Beverhout was stabbed in his chest before he collapsed in the road and was run over by a vehicle. At about 7 p.m. on December 4, 2011, Traffic Investigation Bureau officers were notified of a victim who was run over by a vehicle on Hospital Gata. The victim was identified as 27-year-old Malvern Van Beverhout. Investigation by the detectives revealed Van Beverhout was seen arguing with another male, later identified as 36-year-old Jim Powell, also known as Jimmy or Stempy, outside of a business in hospital ground. Witnesses told police Powell punched Van Beverhout and ran off. Van Beverhout began chasing Powell until he collapsed in the roadway and was subsequently run over by a passing vehicle. Autopsy results indicated that the victim's cause of death was a stab wound through the chest into his heart. On June 6th, major crime detectives secured an arrest warrant from the Superior Court of the Virgin Islands, charging Jim Powell with second-degree murder, unauthorized possession of a dangerous weapon during the commission of a second-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter, first-degree assault, and third-degree assault. On June 8th, major crime detectives spotted Powell in hospital ground, where he was taken into custody without incident. His bail was set at $150,000, which he was unable to post. Powell was remanded to the custody of the Bureau of Corrections pending further court action.
In other news, by now you know that American Airlines and American Eagle are cutting back on flights just as summer travel season kicks off. News Channel 8's Wes Small is at Henry E. Rolson Airport with more on this story.
Stacey, as you can see behind me, a very busy American Airlines terminal here, American Airlines and American Eagle, as people are getting their college students off the island and so forth. People are going to and fro. Don't forget the Hovenza layoff has people leaving as well. And one of the reasons why we're here is because of cutback on American Airlines and the Eagle. And with that, we're going to go to one of our leading travel agents, Linda Cruz, and then we're going to talk to a passenger about air travel as well.
Well, right now, American is cutting back flights, which is an annual thing that is done every year. They're reducing the flight because it's off-season, and actually it's not American alone. Other airlines that do it also. USA do it every year, and Delta does it every year. However, American always there to pick up the slack, but this year they're going to, since they're cutting down to one flight per day, it is going to be an issue for people who is going to go for medical to Puerto Rico. There is no flight period unless you go and spend the night, because the one flight that they're going to leave effective on the 21st of August is going to be leaving out of St. Croix almost 7 o'clock in the night, 6:50. Whereas before we always had a flight in the morning, so you know passengers could have gone to Puerto Rico, do their medical, come back in the same day. That's not going to be an option anymore. So that's one way that it's going to affect the passengers right now, which means they have to come up with more money to get a hotel night if they're going to go with American Eagle. Hopefully, you know, as Cape Air is going to pick up the slack, we can't even depend on JetBlue, because JetBlue flies 4 o'clock out of St. Croix every day, so you can't go to the doctors either without spending a night in Puerto Rico. The other way is it's also going to affect the St. Croix people that is going to the States, because with one flight leaving out of St. Croix 7 o'clock, by the time you get to Puerto Rico, there's no connections left. Everything is gone. So we are back to the one flight. Since they're discontinuing one of the flights from St. Croix to Miami, we're going to have that one late flight that goes, you know, to connect wherever you're going to go. So in other words, availability is going to be limited. The prices are going to go up because they got to market again. So my advice to people is to try and get it as soon as they can.
Wow, now you're telling me a double entendre again. So now if you want to connect to the States and so forth, you might have to stay over again.
If you do the Puerto Rico connection, absolutely. If you're going to Santo Domingo, for instance, which is a big seller for us, there is no way to go on American to here to Puerto Rico to catch a flight to Santo Domingo anyway. You have to go on Cape Air, and which means they charge you more money because you're using two separate airlines. I would also say JetBlue is taking up a big slack, so that's a good thing for us. Good. We can still use JetBlue from here to Puerto Rico and to a lot of the states' destinations. But they're also limited with one flight a day.
Last but not least, how are you doing with, you know, with Linda Cruz and everything? Are we seeing a lot of our friends and family leaving the island and so forth?
Yes, we are. A lot of people, of course, with the economic situation have to make the decision to go. What I'm seeing a lot of is some of the families are going, and a lot of them are waiting for the husband to go find a job and then send for them. Yeah. So, you know, it's a mix. But
it's a heart-wrenching thing to see families separated, isn't it?
It is, and I think we're going to be seeing more as school enrollment come for the states. Yeah. You know, you have to get the kids up there and get them registered. So, yeah, we are seeing a lot of movements.
I'm here with Janelle, who is like going through some passport information. And congratulations, I understand like one of your best friends, I believe, just got married.
Yes, actually at the Carambola Beach Resort and Spa. It was amazing.
It was beautiful?
Yeah, it was absolutely stunning.
Wonderful. Stunning. You're stunning too. You look
Thank you. And so are you. Ty's very swagger.
Ah, thank you. Well, you're on your way back to Detroit, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And this was your first time here?
No, actually, this was my second time.
So you like it a lot?
I love it. Yeah, it was a really easy as far as flight stuff come in. The boarding pass thing was amazing. The little touch screen, just get it and go. Flight times was
cool.
Awesome. And
the reason why I'm here, Janelle, is to find out how air travel is in America because they're cutting back in and out of our territory, but no problem?
No, not at all. Actually, it was really pleasant. The taxi cab drivers were right on time. We had no problem going through. They actually gave us a tour, like, while they were driving us to a resort, which is unexpected from a cab driver, you know? So
I'm telling you.
They stopped and they actually showed us some information in a huge tree that was blown over from Hurricane George back in 1998.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys, did you see the pigs drink beer?
We did not. We did not. We drink our own beer. So we were okay.
Well, listen, Janelle, back from Motor City, you're on your way to Detroit. Congratulations. I got to say hi. Congratulations to your sister.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you, Vanessa and Rob. I love you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Vanessa and Rob.
At Henry Rolson Airport, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Recently, Elena Christian JR High celebrated graduation. Here are the highlights.
You are in charge, and if you insist they did the right thing, 4 years later we'll be back here again to see them graduating from high school. They may not like you now, but 4 years later they will.
Do not fall into the plays of the social networks, the Facebooks, and the Twitter. Do not become engulfed in the negative aspects. You must dive into the positive. There will be days you will not feel like attending your classes due to stress, maybe peer pressure. You have to ignore those feelings. You must stand tall and move forward.
It does take a village to raise a child. As a community, everyone needs to work together to build a strong foundation that will uplift us and keep us grounded throughout our lives. I would like to acknowledge my pre-AP class at this time. I love you guys, including Candy and George, although at times we did not show you it. This class will always have a special place in my heart. As I move on to Good Hope School and we all go our separate ways, remember the fun times we had together at Elena Christian JR High School.
That we may be receiving promotional certificates this morning, fellow classmates. But look around you at your teachers, coaches, and friends, and realize that what you have truly earned for the 2 years at Elena Christian Junior High School are an education and a sense of morality. As happy as I am to see the look of sheer joy on my peers' faces and seeing them scream at the top of their lungs when they first saw their names on the promotion list, I want to say that our job has only just begun. 8th grade was merely a stepping stone and one small fraction of our education. I will be truly happy when I have the privilege of seeing this class attain their high school diplomas and still have the resilience to keep moving forward and achieve their goals.
And we congratulate each and every graduate and wish you continued success. We'd like to thank Earl Morris for providing us with that footage. Coming up, St. Kitts is looking for a missing teen and Liat manages a Sunday night fire. That's next in your Caribbean Report.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
Now here's your Caribbean Report. From St. Kitts, police are seeking the public's assistance in finding a missing teen. 17-year-old Jaquil Alford of St. Paul's, the son of Lorna Alford and Clyde Malone, was last seen at 7:55 a.m. on Thursday, June 7th. Jaquil is a student at the Verchildes High School. Anyone having any information is asked to please contact the St. Paul's Police Station. From the Caribbean region, the CTO has secured over $250,000 in scholarship funds to assist Caribbean students pursuing further education in tourism-related subjects. The CTO has teamed up with Monroe College to offer these scholarship funds to students who register at the college. Keeping with the Caribbean, the health of Caribbean coral reefs has deteriorated strikingly in recent decades as 2 Australian marine biologists have painted a unique but poor picture of the region's marine environment. It's a sharp contrast to the healthier reefs of the Indian and Pacific Oceans. And also in the Caribbean region, next month, a team of marine archaeologists sponsored by Captain Morgan, the rum maker owned by London-based beverage conglomerate Diageo, will begin its first thorough excavation of a shipwreck located off the coast of Panama, in search of cargo from, yes, the real Captain Morgan, ruthless British buccaneer Admiral Henry Morgan. From Antigua, fire, police, and civil aviation investigators are probing into what might have caused a huge overnight fire that gutted a hangar and a twin-engine turboprop plane at the headquarters of Liat Airlines on Sunday night. There were no reports of injury or loss of life. From the BVI, residents of the British Virgin Islands are being given a unique opportunity to share their views on the proposed expansion of the cruise ship pier and provide insight into their impressions of cruise tourism in the territory. From the Dominican Republic, unidentified assailant strangled an attorney and former member of the DEA inside his apartment in the city's Los sector, Los Garages. Juan Diego Valerio, 65, was found Friday morning with his feet and hands tied up by the maid inside his home. From Guyana, Venezuela's opposition accused the government on Wednesday of turning a blind eye to neighboring Guyana's oil exploration in a border region claimed by Venezuela, potentially inflaming a territorial dispute that dates back more than a century. From Jamaica, World 100-meter record holder Usain Bolt has escaped uninjured after a car accident on Sunday. Triple Olympic champion Bolt, 25, had been returning home in the early hours when the accident happened near his home in Jamaica, according to reports. From Puerto Rico, the governor of Puerto Rico, Luis Fortuno, is asking the territory's Justice Department to investigate allegations that dozens of voters may have committed fraud to support one of his party's candidates, as the Elections Commission has identified about 50 people suspected of submitting fake addresses when they voted back on March 18th. And in your cricket update, cricket legend Rupert Scotland has died following a long bout with illness. The former St. George's Cup match star died on June 7th at age 74. Scotland was born in Antigua and eventually moved to Bermuda in the late 1950s. Throughout his sparkling career, Scotland dazzled fans with his brilliant stroke play as a top-order batsman. And the West Indies dominated the 4th day of the final test against England on Sunday, and charismatic Tino Best astonishingly struck the highest score by a number 11 in Test history, while Dinesh Ramdin stroked his second Test century before embroiling himself in controversy. Ramdin has now been fined 20% of his match fee for making a gesture directed at Viv Richards after reaching his century. The third and final test between England and West Indies has finished in a no decision after rain forced abandonment of the final day today. Please be sure to check our Facebook page for all full details on stories in the Caribbean Report. Now, St. Patrick's School held a steel pan concert recently. Let's take a look. St. Croix versus St. Thomas All-Star Baseball in your Sports 411.
This newscast has been sponsored by Mario's Virgin Crystal. Let us save you the hassle of lugging those jugs around. Purified bottled water conveniently delivered to your home or office. Also available in your favorite grocery store. Call 773-2810.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
Here's Stephen Koo Francis with your Sports 411.
Thanks a lot, Stacy. This past weekend, the Elmo Plaskett East Little League hosted its Junior and Senior League All-Star Tournament. Well, on Friday, they had the opening ceremony. Here's Steve Paris, of the District Administrator of the Little League.
All-Star selections both from the island of St. Croix and the island of St. Thomas. Congratulations on your accomplishments in the 2012 season. Give them a round of applause. Because the beautiful thing about the league in the Virgin Islands is that it's not just like it's in the States, maybe a 1-2 month scenario. We do this 12 months out of the year, taking advantage of the beautiful weather. And you guys have been chosen as the best in your age group. So again, a round of applause to you. To the fans that are here, I wish it was more, but I'm glad to see that you guys came out to support our young athletes, especially when they're reaching their teenage years out here playing ball. But I'm going to be quick and brief and just say, good luck, may the best team win, play fair, and enjoy the game. Thank you.
Well, in the first game in the 13-14 division, St. Thomas won 11-6. Taj Thompson, he got the win. Kaleem Serant, he went 2 for 4. Then in the second game on Friday in the 15-16 division, St. Croix won 10-4. Dalton Benjamin Jr. was the winning pitcher. Everson Matthew Jr., he went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Moving along to Saturday. On Saturday, St. Thomas closed out the 13-14 series with a 10-6 victory. Aaron Shelleyford got the win. Eugene Farrell, he went 2 for 3 with 2 RBI. In the 15-16 division, St. Thomas evened up the series with a 8-4 win. Kai Matthews, he got the win. Jed Joseph, he went 2 for 3 with an RBI. So to game 3 we go. Let's pick up the action. Bottom of the 5th, St. Thomas up 12-9. St. Croix have the bases loaded, 1 out, looking to do some damage. Well, the batter hits one down the left field line. The first baseman throws home for the force out, stopping the runner from scoring. So bases still loaded with 2 outs for Everson Matthews Jr. Well, Everson hits one up the middle, but the shortstop calling Johnny on the spot. Robbing Matthews of the base hit and getting out of the inning. Still leading 12-9. Well, in the top of the 6th, the bottom of the barrel dropped out for St. Croix as St. Thomas opened up the floodgates, scoring 12 runs in the inning. Ouch! As they went on to win 24-9. Asia Thomas, he got the win. Jed Joseph was perfect at the plate as he went 3 for 3. Shaquan Webster, he went 2 for 4 with an RBI. After the game, I spoke to the St. Thomas 15-16 manager. Impressive win, man. You guys fought hard and then blew it out in the end, man. Talk about the win and then how you guys played today, man.
Well, we didn't. We could have do better in terms of defense. Pitching was shaky here and there, but our bat was all right tonight.
Okay, you guys had to come back and win 2 today. And
well, yesterday, what really happened is
Coach, like I said, we was talking before you got the show. You guys had to fight hard today and win 2 today, man. Talk about that, man.
The first game today, the guys know the back were against the wall, and we were trying to cut on the mistakes we made from the night before, and we managed to do that. But we have a good hitting team. You know, pitching is our problem. We don't have enough pitchers to go, but we managed to take a couple innings here and there and make it work.
Okay, so next for you guys is representing the Virgin Islands in Puerto Rico.
No, this team, this is bracket 15-16. They go to Guatemala.
Oh, Guatemala. Okay, my bad. You guys go to Guatemala. Talk about the trip, man. Are you guys looking forward to that?
Well, we're supposed to leave on the 29th. The problem, everybody knows what the problem is right now, funding. I guess we're going to have to go out and do some kind of hustling, or hope that somebody could take care of our trip for us.
All right, man. Well, best of luck, and I hope you guys get the funding take care of, man.
Okay, thank you.
So once again, congratulations to St. Thomas 13-14 and 15-16 baseball teams. That's a look at your Sports 411 update. I'm Stephen Kufensis for News Channel 8. Back to you, Stacy.